Alright. This is probably the last one. Hell, this might even be really short depending on how well this goes. Best of luck, eh? It is daybreak. You are to set forth now for the Ridge of Gold, for what appears to be the final time. Thereafter, you shall return here for one last exile's final chance at liberty. I wonder what all this stuff is in the background. Just making sure there's nothing to be missed. Oh, fucking...
Hey, you wanna rumble here and now, huh, Nightwings? Ain't gonna take us down again like last time.
I don't remember if that's the voice of the game or not.
Too bad we all got somewhere else to be, though we tempers sure are flattered that you took the time to ram right into us again. Be seeing you around.
Sorry. Didn't mean to. Hello, Soraya. What's the matter, big girl? Do you need to come up here? Okay, come on. Hop up. Hop up, big girl. There you go. Come on. Up. Okay, you just want to stare. That's fine, too. Get up here. Come on. There you go. Good girl. Okay, lay down. Bye. Nothing over here, huh? There's them. I really don't want to have to face those hag ladies again. They gave me a run for their money. Run for my money. What? Yeah. That's how it goes, right? A run for my money. Yes. I feel like I'm forgetting how to speak. That's probably not a impending sign of like a brain aneurysm or something, right? Yeah, that's probably fine. I'm kind of surprised I never had to do that mini game again, where everybody, like, I was fending off the bad things, the howlers. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Face spots a convenient landing spot where you should be able to pursue your vocations. Roll for inspection might find something of value. Why not? Let's get some money. No one wants to speak, huh? At Volford's behest, you explore the windswept fields of Blooming Pool. However, the search proves fruitless, and you see little reason to keep at it. If truly there was something here for us to find, I fear that now it's gone. You exchange some words of consolation as you head back to the Black Wagon, where you should still have time to pursue your vocations. Ah. The illusion of choice. We meet again. Why not? I'll get my last thing. Books seem to push back against you. Your sense of its hidden meaning crumbles under layers of contradiction, of missing details, and yet you feel a thorough knowledge of it now. It is more artifact than book. Its power almost solely rests within the reader, who makes it time to form a certain meaning from the many passages unwritten. Yet the glimpse of knowledge you approached just then called back you to stop and go no further, not to press too forcefully against the outer limits of your understanding. Nevertheless, for what you recognize shall have to be the final time, inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within. Even now you cannot tell. Alright. Righteousness. You look up to see the lone minstrel there. You had not noticed him. He looks up at you, with his strange eyes, a color not unlike the bindings of the book, and he smiles at you faintly. The moment passes, and he turns to go about his business. He leaves you there. You realize you are clutching the Book of Rites to your chest. You manage to pull away. That's strange. But alright. Dalbert. Dalbert Oldheart, eh? Good old doggo. Alright, I should see if there's any fruit to sell. There is. What's this? Huh. Bertrude status, dining alone, goddamn. 84%. 84%. I wonder if I can push it up to 90. I really do.
Oh, hey guys. You know, it seems so awful quiet now. I gotta say, without that slippery little character that used to hang around with you, I mean... talks like this a lot! Know what I mean? Hope you found that honor thing he's always going on about. We don't got that in stock just now.
Damn it! I fear that I have made an error in wasting all of the potions. I don't think I even need any anymore, right? I am curious. Quickness, 18. Electric. Wow. United in purpose. Oh, that's nice. And then her thing to just attack everybody is great. Alas, my paired rings do not do so much anymore. One moment, just gotta close my door. There we go. Don't need this anymore, huh?
Oh.
Guess I don't need these anymore either. Man, what am I gonna do with them, right? Too bad there's, well, I could afford this, exactly. But flinging the orbs isn't really something I do. So, nah.
Thanks for stopping by, guys.
No one wants to talk, eh? Malagoitosh. As the sky begins to darken over the ridge of gold, you see one of your adversaries, clad in the colors of the Fate, step forward. Where's Faye? She arrives on cue. Oh, hi, Elmer. Hello. Father asked me to salute you in the Nightwing, so here I am then. Consider yourself saluted. Oh, okay. And, may the scribes watch over you and Mr. Oldheart. They shall do no such thing. Know that I am only doing this to ease Father's worries, such as I can. But when night falls, you are all my adversaries, nothing more. Yeah, pouty little bitch voice suits you well. I like that. Yeah. He walks away, even as the darkness grows and the stars begin to shine. Little bitch boy. Cranky. Yeah, I don't really see a need to do this anymore because everybody's already... Bleh. What? I'm just... I don't see a need. It is a catchy jingle. They're a fucking evil company, but it's a catchy-ass jingle.
Reader, the Commonwealth, your home.
Uh-huh.
Today it is aflame. Much like a stack of books.
What did you do?
Aflame because of you.
You would fucking
Because of
dare
your
blame me.
outlandish plan. Not that you care. Not that you shall live to see this place again. Your attempts at revolution shan't succeed.
You are a bitter
Though
old
by all
shit, aren't you?
means, keep trying.
I will. How about that?
As for myself, I shall enjoy presiding over these remaining rites.
I don't like you. You're a pompous old shit who's too far up his own ass. Banning literacy. Can't believe that shit.
Hail once again, no Nightwings. My son Alma tells me you have treated him most graciously. For that, I am most grateful. Father, I said no such thing. But as we all know each other well now, I suggest that we dispense with further interactions for the time. We must not let our hearts take sway when we are here to honor the scribes.
Faye listens intently to all this, then. Oh, you're right, Mr. Oldheart. I never thought of it that way, but you're right. Almer, when all this is over, someday not too long from now, and the scribes are satisfied that we've served them well, then will you be my friend?
I don't know.
Okay, I know you mean that too. Until then, may the scribes protect us all.
May the scribes protect us.
Oh, God, he's such a grumbly little ass.
Meh. Me, 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 me.
Choose now your band of traitors.
I only have these options, so, you know. Live long and prosper, or whatever.
Wolfred. Bertrude.
Let us stand together now, my son.
Always, Father, I am ready. You gotta give it like a little droopy look. I'm ready. Go, mine. Oh, what you gonna do? Oh, fuck, you're fast!
In an instant.
Oh no!
A stifling effort.
Oh no! I have none left. Woo!
Already does your adversary's flame begin to flicker. Sinners.
Oh no. God, I love how fast he is.
By the scribes. The orb is up.
Woo!
Plunged into the fire.
Well done, O Nightwings. My poor Alma, you did nothing to deserve this. You have the family's courage and the family's grace, but I lack the family's strength, or the strength to tell you so. Courage, Alma, the scribes are watching over us, and we shall always be united with them. One another.
I misread that. Oh well.
And it is done.
Yeah!
Again, the Nightwings have prevailed.
Undefeated,
Alas, that
baby!
their adversaries failed to stop them.
Get fucked, reader dickhead. I win.
The ceremony is complete.
You can't stop progress.
Alas, that the scribes did not heed our prayers tonight. Come, Alma, we are needed here no longer.
Boundless are the teachings of the scribes. So Volfred learned a thing or two, so what?
It is possible our plan shall not succeed, despite our fiercest efforts here and in the Commonwealth. But I know for certain that our efforts shall not be in vain. We learn and strive together. We prevail, or we fail together. On this path we share. It has been and shall always be my greatest honor.
Praise be to Leus Glorian.
Wonderful, simply wonderful.
I eagerly await our next such outing.
SpongeBob.
You feel kinship with the stars. You owe your everything to them. Perhaps one day, even your freedom. No one speaks further of the fate back at the Black Wagon. Everyone is instead preoccupied with the rite that is to come. Is it true then? This is going to be our last chance to go home? The stars always shine with truth. The ending of the cycle of the rites is now upon us. He looks over to you. Please, look forth, reader, sir, and see this for yourself. You may well surmise where we are going next. The others turn to you as well. You head out you turn towards the wagon's door. You know what you shall see out there. However, the time has come to face it. The dim and fading light of the final star still pierces through the darkness, demanding your attention, guiding you towards the end point of your path. You see the golden star of Solium. Look upon it for the last. $87%. And we're going up again. Why are these all scratched out? The dissidents no longer have any real chance at freedom before the rites are ended. Oralek. That's right, we're going up against Oralek. I feel bad for the dude. I do, but... challenge the true Nightwings here. Just because you call yourselves that doesn't make it real. Dick. You are summoned to the Fall of Solium for your 7th and final liberation rite. Thus shall the cycle of the rites be ended for an age. You sense that, if the rites shall ever commence again, it shall not be during your lifetime, or that of any of your companions, even the longest-lived ones. The stars reveal to you one thing more. The adversary whom you face shall be Oralek. Already he has crossed Scribe's Gate and awaits your arrival. If the 8 scribes created the Nightwings in their own likeness, perhaps it is only fitting that the Nightwings should in the end be forced to face themselves. It is a shame that we should have to confront Oralek in the end. Our goals should never have been to cross purposes. I am surprised that this is what the scribes desire. For now, it may be best that you recover until dawn. Regain your strength as best you can for the coming trial. Rest well, reader. The group dispenses as exhaustion sets in. At dawn, you fly to Mount Elodiel to make a final effort to achieve your plan and get somebody home. But who? It's gotta be Faye. Faye's the only one left, even though she don't want to talk to me right now. Nobody wants to talk. But that's okay. It's time to continue on.
Foolish reader.
Oh, hey.
Your so-called friends. You are accomplice to their hateful plot. They are exploiting you.
Oh, are they? Oh, no.
You shall never have your freedom.
Yeah, I know. You made that clear from the beginning. Oh no, boo-hoo, are you just gonna keep yelling at me because now you can't have any actual way to fight back? By dawn, you were actually up and about. After a troubled slumber, oh, already, not actually, the Black Dragons prepared for the final voyage to the fall of Solim. No one speaks. I would like it if someone spoke. As you lift in the skies, the lone minstrel raises his voice, cutting through the somber mood. Reader, a certain olden ballad comes to mind just now. I think it may befit the circumstance. Perhaps it may help to pass the time along our flight. Would you mind it very much if I were to play this song for the Nightwings? By all means. You urge the lone minstrel to play his ballad so that all among you might hear it. He begins without another word.
When the stars align, the rites shall come to bear. Illuminate the signs, the exiles shall be there. All are not the same, but three shall be as one. Freedom in the flame, the end has just begun. Strength may break our own, but twisted make a break. Together on their own, the journey shall be made. The journey shall be made.
What a great game. Well, nothing to do but do it, right? I guess I've dicked around long enough. God, we really have gone far. So many damn places. What have we got? Faye shall gain favor. Bertrude shall gain favor. Faye's the one who gets to go home. You touch down amid the splendors of Mount Elodial to make pilgrimage for the summit one last time. There, one last liberation rite shall soon commence. There, one last exile shall regain his or her freedom. All others shall remain to carry out their sentences here in the downside for the remainder of their lives. And in the Commonwealth, the plan of which you are a part of shall either come to fruition or shall be suppressed. Anybody want to talk one last time? No. Unfortunately not. 87%. So close. So close to 90%. If I could just put it over 90. After having landed, you join Faye on an expedition to the monument of Molten Melitha for what is likely to be the final time.
Glory to the 8 scribes, for you have chosen me to be a witness to the ending of the cycle of rites. We have followed your path, and in your path, and now we have arrived upon the site which the cycle first began. Always have we done our utmost to honor you, and honor the traditions you described within the sacred book, which one day I should like to read myself. Whatever shall transpire in the coming nights, it is your will, and I shall accept it, even as I strive with all my heart for all my friends.
Soon she is finished. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Molten Melitha has shown you favor. At dawn, you shall begin your last ascent. For now, your vocations may occupy what little time you have to spare. 3 glory, baby. Ha! What's up, Faye? Faye seems to be speaking to herself again. She's unaware of your presence, or shows no sign of it at least.
Mercy, freedom, they are intertwined. Mercy shall engender union. Yeah, engender union among all our different kind. Mercy shall engender union among all our different kind.
She's reciting passages from the Book of Rites, though, to your knowledge, she cannot read.
Freedom to the worthy. The downside cannot let us all go free. Thus, freedom to the worthy. Is that not so, O Saint Triesta? Is that not the conclusion which you formed with your 7 most trusted friends?
She pauses for a while, as though listening, and nods her head from time to time.
Yes, I see. Well, I'm ever grateful to you, Saint Triesta, for your guidance and your presence. And I wish all your friends safe passage among the stars. It must be so very beautiful out there. With your wings, you can fly freely, can't you, Saint? You can visit me at any time. Come and go as you please. From the stars all the way here? You do not need a pair of wings in order to be free. I know. And yet, sometimes I wish I was like you, or Miss Pamitha. But I know that I'm the way I am because I'm meant to be this way. And I know that you are always watching. So, thank you, St. Triesta Tithys. Thank you and your friends.
She wanders out into the afternoon, leaving you to consider her words. In the Commonwealth, her unwavering faith in the 8 scribes would be seen as delusion. Such prayer or communion was forbidden. The scribes were mythical figures, but even they worshipped the stars, and it was the stars that led the way for the founders of the Commonwealth. Or so its leaders taught. There we go. Well, nobody really needs mentoring, so I guess I'll forage. Sense of source of enlightenment. Something Falcon Ron values. Oh god.
Twould seem thou hast procured something of certain value, reading one.
A box. Ah, yeah, okay. Cool. I found a box. I hope he has potions for all of us. Because Lord knows I'm probably gonna need them. Okay, here we go. What? Oh! Yes! You! This time around, the imp brings tidings of Sir Gilman and what happened to him since his liberation at the fall of Solium, when at last his self-imposed exile came to an end. You learn that his return to the Commonwealth was met with much rejoicing, and that before long he was promoted to the rank of Veiled Captain on the Blood Border. And yet, with tears welling in his eyes, he did refuse the post, stating he no longer had the heart to fight against the High-Wing remnants as he once did. He then cast down his helmet, and when anyone saw him, he was among Volford's agents, having joined the revolution to reshape the Commonwealth from within. You thank the messenger imp for the report and salute it crisply, as surely Gilman would have. Soon the news has everyone in the wagon talking.
Do you think that one day I can be as brave as him? Because I don't always think I can.
The tears he shed ought to have been bottled, and thus set aside for use in various salves.
Noble Gilman made the gallant choice, it seems. Our plan comes closer to fruition through his good example and support. The news of Gilman's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Extra hope. I'm gonna need it. I only faced Oralek once before, but by God was he tough. You stand before the scribe's gate with your companions. The gate guardian is there, as ever, but you sense something different in her.
The exiles of the Nightwings. We shall not meet again after the coming ride. Tariq and I, it shall be time we take our rest, I think.
Salutiam, Ceres.
Greetings, Celeste. I would tell you that the Nightwings are prepared, though this time I am uncertain anyone amongst us feels thus. We have a duty to uphold, Tariq. And then what, Celeste? And then nothing. Not for the rites, or us. Not till the dawn of a new age. Now, Nightwings, step forward. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. One by one, your fellow exiles approach her, now with sureness in their step.
We are called Big Bertrude. We seek to fulfill the plan of Sandalwood, for we are fond of him and his beliefs, and then to go about our business.
Oh, my name is Faye, and I'm here because the scribes, this is the path that they have shown me. And all of us. I like when they call to me.
My name is Wolfred Sandalwood. As long as I long as yet to see an age where freedom is one's birthright, and no longer are good people such as these forced to contend for it. Finally, you step forward once more. You, a crippled scholar who vowed to help his friends be free again, and who managed to come this far with this group. The gate guardian observes you for a moment, then motions past the archway towards the sun. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Except for you, Tariq. You stay right there. I thought you said... The rites are not yet ended, Tariq. He looks to her, then over to the rest of them. Pardon me, everyone. I shall be there when the stars align. The gate guardian and the lone minstrel remain together as the rest of you depart. Oh boy. I'm getting nervous. You've gained this. Oh, sorry. Just 1 second. Sorry. You have gained the summit of Mount Lodiel for the 7th time, the final time in which any of you shall have a chance to leave the downside. The Beyonder seeks me? Me?
Thank you for visiting on such short notice, reader. I understand you have important matters to attend to. So, let me be blunt. Please, listen for a moment, then. I know this whole affair is coming to an end. All of it. I sense the binds that form the rites becoming weak. Which means, soon, you will not need me anymore. Not that you have needed me at any point, but still, my services will not be of any further use. God. I would love to tell you that this means I shall be free from my eternal prison. For some of my Beyonders, it shall be release. My accomplices are bound by weaker words than those which have bound me. They shall fade away, I think, and finally rest. I, however, shall remain. She hesitates for a moment. Thus, I have a proposition for you. I do not know where you shall go from here, but I ask you to take me there, wherever it shall be. By that I mean, take this stone prison of mine and keep it. Do not just leave it, as all your predecessors have. Each time their stay among the Nightwings reached an end. Soon the Beyonder Crystal shall serve no use at all, except to keep me trapped. I am content to remain thus, for I have little choice, but I would prefer to do so in your company. For I do enjoy your company, reader. This may not be much of a compliment, but I assure you that I much prefer your company to an eternity of solitude. I have no wish to see you gain in years, and to eventually decay, whilst I remain unchanging, but I should rather have more years whilst having contact, even if those years are to be brief. They shall afford me many more in which I might think back upon our times. Nor do I expect you to accommodate my needs, for I am well aware I have my limits in accommodating yours. That is to say, I wish you to go forth, after this night, and live your life however you see fit, for your own sake. May all this rites business enrich your coming days somehow. And, considering that life after this night, if you think there is maybe a place in it for me, however small, then, once again, I simply ask that you take me along. That way, should you ever wish to visit me again sometime, you could. And I would like to have that as an option, more than not. My request here is a selfish one, for there's little I can offer in exchange, other than what little my companionship is worth. Perhaps I could lull you to sleep once in a while. Who knows? You could always try to sell the Beyonder Crystal for a reasonable sum somewhere, or something to that end. There must be someone out there with an interest in this thing. So then,
You have heard my sad little proposition. What do you say? You would rather not part with her? Of course you can stay with me. You grasp the yonder crystal and set it into the folds of your clothing. Sandra senses this and makes a sound, as though surprised. Thank you, reader. She is at a loss for a moment, then. Let us go, then, from this place. Go and face your last remaining adversaries. May you crush them under heel and achieve the outcome which you seek. I believe you shall prevail. She disappears into the stone for now. You took the Beyonder Crystal with you. Hell yeah. Why would I leave a friend behind, right? Alright, Ron. This is it.
Hey, Flash.
Hey, guys. I guess you probably heard the big news, huh? Yeah, I'm going out of business here, I guess. Just hasn't been the same, you know, with all the stars fading out and stuff. Anyway, just wanted to say, you guys are great, and I sure am gonna miss having you guys as customers and all that. But I got some good news, though. All my stuff is on sale now, and I'll throw a little extra in, just for you, okay?
I'm sending Faye home.
So, enjoy, and maybe I'll be seeing you guys around, okay?
5! Thanks, Falcon Ron. Oh, damn it, no potions. What a fool I was to waste all those potions. Yeah, all of this shit's at 20, so I don't really need any of that. I guess I could buy this shit. If only to help fill out the book just a little bit more. Oluguaitais. Ugh, I hate these. Huh. Oluguaitais. There you go, Ron, old buddy. You get some money at least. I really don't want those in my inventory, so. These are useless, but whatever.
That's how you get repeat customer there, Dad. You give him a deal.
Oh, it didn't earn me any book thing. Cool, this is gonna be nothing but skill. Ugh. Fucking nose. I hate it. Excuse me. You have gained the summit of Mount Lodial for the 7th time. Very few stars remain above to light your way, as you await the commencement of the final liberation rite. The lone minstrel finds you clutching the Book of Rites, seeking there perhaps some bit of wisdom that has eluded you this far. Reader, we may not have a chance to speak again after this. I may have to go. I wish to say that I am grateful for having made your acquaintance, and I shall remember you with fondness. I wish you well, this night and always. Go forth with glory. Then he looks up and extends his hand in friendship. You clasp it. You see Faye has joined you. All your companions are there with her, in fact.
Oh, hi, mister. The others said they wanted me to join with them and come talk to you, so here I am. The scribes are watching us.
It's strange for me to say, given the circumstances of our meeting, reader, but it has truly been a pleasure. Onward now. Let us achieve our plan.
Reading one, thou art both wiser and less irritating than most of the others of thy kind. We have learned something from the Ilk, and we are grateful. Yeah.
You look upon your fellow exiles, your companions, with whom you have withstood the downside, and with whom you shall now conduct this final rite. Begging your pardon, but my time has come. We shall see each other soon. He departs. After this night, the outcome of Volfred's plan, the plan which all have been a part, shall be decided, one way or another. For now, all you can do is strive to prevail against your final adversaries, so that one last companion may go free. You rise to join your fellow exiles at the last remaining stars unite. Ignite. Let's bring about harmony. Yeah, no, fuck this. Definitely not putting extra challenge on the final battle. I want to win. Love to see a sequel that has you in the Yeah, that'd be really cool. Although apparently the Commonwealth is all going on at this moment, I think. The voice guy was like, "Oh, the place is in flames. It's all your fault."
Upon the fall of Solium, dear reader, hear me for one last time. For soon, the few remaining stars shall fade away, leaving you stranded there for your remaining days in that forsaken land where you deserve to be.
Stay mad, bitch.
The rabble that you roused here in the Commonwealth shall be put down.
I can't believe that.
The exiles whom you liberated, all shall fall in line.
Just see.
But first, let us get on with this last liberation rite. You face none other than yourselves. Each so unlike the glorious Nightwings of yore. 'Tis a shame that one of you shall soon be free. For
You really just missed the entire point. It's like when someone's like, "Oh boy, I can't wait to see all the sinners die in the apocalypse, and I'm gonna watch them suffer." It's like, you really missed the whole point of the whole thing, didn't you? The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. But before the one minstrel can conter, as per the custom, not another word. The demon Orlick slowly raises his clawed fingers to his mask. The false Nightwings have arrived at last. Long have I awaited this. My freedom was once stolen from me. Then I was cheated of here, upon this mountaintop. You may now attempt to take it from me once more. He stands there for a moment, silent. Then Orlick dons his mask and stands prepared. May these damned rites cease forever, for all the misery which they caused. Ah, shit, you have ash and coal? Nightwings, we shall not meet again after tonight, for the cycle of the rites is all but ended. Thus, I would have your decision. On whose behalf shall you conduct this final liberation rite? The one whom you anoint, or else the exile Orlick shall be returned. Goodbye, reader. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that was a pretty harsh betrayal, so I kind of understand. I have utmost faith in you to make the best decision and conduct this rite with glory. Nightwings, the star's remaining light grows dim. Your decision, please. It is now time to choose who among any of you. One by one, you meet the gazes of your fellow exiles. Volfred. Bertrude. Faye. Your fellow exiles, your companions, your friends. Together you have come this far, but now the downside and the rites conspire to tear your group apart and disrupt your plan. Seems both cruel and unfair to make such a decision. Whoa! Is this for real? What? Oh, shit. What? Ah, fuck. suffer in potential guilt. Yeah, thanks, Remy. Welcome. With but a glance, you reassure your fellow exiles that you know what to do.
One final opportunity.
I hate it!
Bad for the rest of you. Faye.
Me? I can finally go home? Not yet. I mean, I know I can't go yet, but if the scribes allow it, maybe soon? This final time?
God damn it. Your choice is cast. As for your other companions, you sense a clarity of thought and purpose in each of them. They stand ready to support Faye, as well as you.
Who shall strive for her?
I feel so bad! Surely, my boy. Besides, we stand against Orlek. It is fitting that I should have to confront him myself.
Bertrude.
Thy will is ours, reading one. Let the remaining stars shed their light. Last light upon our ceremony here.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Those are to be my adversaries then. And who is it, I wonder, who asserts his will over that group? You sense Orlick searching for you, almost reaching out to you. You. The shadow of the false Nightwings. They are nothing to me but you. You who would relinquish your own liberty for the sake of them? Strange. It is fitting, then, that I shall have to face one such as you. Then Orlek stands at the ready, signaling for his two allies to do the same. By the light of the dawn, the cycle of the rites shall cease. Let us see if we can finish this ordeal before that time. The sky above begins to shudder. The final liberation rite is about to commence. Tariq! Aye, I am prepared, Celeste. Yeah, the power of friendship. Then, let our song this evening shake the stars themselves. Aye, Celeste. Let us make sure of it. Go!
Begin.
Ah! Juke you, bitch! Ah, pick you fast! Oh no! What you trying to do, huh? What you trying to do? Get the fuck out of here with my shit! Ah, you're fast! Oh boy! Oh boy! You wear the raiments once. Oh, Luna, no, baby, no! Luna, don't throw up there! Oh, Luna! Okay, there we go. The cat was about to puke on my PlayStation. I had to move her and clean up the cat vomit. Or hairball, whatever. I could not simply stand by and do nothing, or like... Yet that is what you did. When we last stood together on this blasted mountain, I fell. You simply stood. Or like... What shall it take for you to be convinced I took no part in your betrayal? Orlek seems to consider the question, but only for a moment. Give me my damn freedom. Let me prevail, here and now. Would you promise to uphold our plan? To bring about a better Commonwealth? No. I make no promises. I owe you nothing. Then I am sorry, Orlek. My love of country comes before all else. more than your freedom, and our friendship is at stake. Your love be damned, Wilfred. Let us stand as adversaries then. Oh my god, I forgot how fast you are. Woo! The sky rains ash. Soon shall your pyre zone mingle with them. Just then, the skies above begin to rain down fire, the final throes of the cycle of the rites, and the ending of the age. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit!
All of the Nightwings vanish.
What?
How he has changed, that relic. Grown old and bitter, lo, these many years. Didn't see it coming.
I win!
More crone,
Fucking cheater!
Dove.
So the false Nightwings bear their fangs at last. But that cannot be your finest effort. You think you deserve freedom more than I? Then fight for it, damn you! No, 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 no. Don't touch me. Damn it!
A mere attempt.
No! Oh, thank you. Fuck! Oh, shit. Fuck! Shit! Come on! Shit!
I almost pity what transpired there.
No!
Your flames grow weak.
Oh, fuck! Ah, fuck.
Woe is you. Blessed be.
Okay, come on. Oh, fuck. Oh, no! Come on! All of you, you shall rot here. You shall rot, as I have, all these many years. You, false Nightwings who deny me once again my rightful liberty. You who deny that liberty to all of the triumvirates you face, and vanquish under the guise of the traditions of those blasted scribes. Come, let us continue this glorious affair. Shit. Fuck! Oh my god, I suck. Oh no. No! Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, come on! Orlek stands, breathing heavily. He looks back at the thin lick of flame that is smoldering Pyre, before turning his attention back to your triumvirate. Oh, this was bad, this was bad, this was a poor choice! I win!
And there it is.
Yeah!
The Nightwings proved their worth.
I did it.
Rather convincingly,
I did
I
it.
must admit.
Fucking undefeated! All
Thus
the
ends the
way!
liberation rite. And thus, the scribes have chosen.
I knew the scribes would help us see us through! You look upon Faye for what you shall expect to be the last time you see each other. Any moment now, the Shimmer Pool shall engulf her. Any moment now, she shall return to glory and join with Volford's agents in the Commonwealth. You think Orlek will just charge in and die? Maybe. Maybe. Any moment now, the cycle of the rites shall end, until at least the dawn of a new age. Any moment now.
And thus, the scribes have chosen. And thus, the scribes have chosen.
Wait. Why
And
isn't it?
thus The scribes have chosen.
No, did I take too long?
No. Nightwings. Reader. What have you done?
Me? What do you mean, what did I do? Oh, no, are we too late? Is it too late for me? Each prior time upon the fall of Sullivan, the Shimmer Pool is opened, following the liberation rite and taken in whichever exile prevailed. But now, all is still, and the light of the stars above have all but died. You sense a growing fear that it is already too late, that the Shimmer Pool shall not reveal itself again. Orlek approaches, his head bowed. The 8 scribes saved their greatest treachery for last. Then something else catches his notice. Wait. A sudden rush of starlight cascades through the stillness of the summit. The Shimmer Pool has appeared again, different somehow, but open. Faye looks upon it, but it does not engulf her, or at least not yet. It seems I was mistaken. The 8 scribes, this is not their greatest treachery. It is their greatest jest. The Shimmer Pool is flung wide open. Wait, we can all go? It seems that all are worthy now of freedom. Yes! Orlek strides toward the Shimmer Pool, but... Halt, Orlek. Orlek glances over at the lone minstrel, almost in surprise. The Shimmer Pool has lost most of its strength. You step inside and you shall surely drown. Of that I can assure you. He laughs to himself at this. Then we have all been cheated. No. The Shimmer Pool is revealed, and one of you may still return, as planned. But, as for who returns, someone shall have to choose. Ere the last light of the stars is extinguished and the rites cease to be, this is the final trial of the scribes. The final trial of the scribes. Then our confrontation, the liberation rite, it was all meaningless? No. The victor of the confrontation is to be the one to make the choice, among those closest to the scribes, either the anointed or he who anointed them. So then, I can go home? Or, mister, maybe I could choose that you go home instead? Aye. It shall be you, either you, the reader, or... It shall be either or. Faye, please, make your decision quickly, lest it shall be forfeit. I do not know for how much longer the light of the stars shall offer you this gift. If that is truly as it has to be, well then, my choice is made. I'm choosing you, mister. I would like you to be free, okay? For everything that you've done, for me, and all of us. Faye wishes to give up her freedom, so that you may regain yours. Oh no. Read us, sir. The choice which Faye made, or rather, the choice which she gave, is now yours to make instead. Choice. It may keep bouncing back and forth like this. Absurd. It may, until such time as one of you is willing to accept the burden and the outcome of the choice. That is the trial, and I fear that there is little time remaining now. Reader, if you and your companion are too cordial with each other to accept that freedom, either one of you, then I shall gladly take it. Freedom ought to be more than some flirtatious trifle to exchange. Reader, what is your will? Your thoughts crystallize. You have chosen Oralek. What? Oralek, do you accept the reader's choice, or shall you make another? No, I shall not make another. I accept the reader's choice. The reader's mercy. Then it is done. For a moment, Oralek appears to be at peace, and then he is gone. Oralek regained his freedom. Accept this, for it is done.
Godspeed, Oralek.
For better or worse,
Times.
he's earned it.
No stars remain aloft.
I'm sorry,
The
Faye.
cycle of the rites. It is finished. The Commonwealth. What shall become of it? What shall become of us? Nightwings. The opportunity to gain your freedom from the downside,
You're right.
was it not enough?
Come what may. The decisions are what we make of it, huh? Or maybe the decisions are what make us. That night, the exile Oralek returned to the Commonwealth. He was to be the last. The stars had faded, and the cycle of rites had run its course. He found the Commonwealth in great upheaval. Spurred by the efforts of 6 liberated exiles, Volfred Sandalwood's revolutionary plan had incited the masses. These exiles, the starless sky, portended the return of the scribes. The people surged into the streets, shoulder to shoulder. Led by the 6 exiles, their voices shook the heavens. The leadership of the Commonwealth panicked. No blood was shed that night, and by dawn it was over. The leaders of the Commonwealth had cast themselves back into exile, or joined in this new cause. Thus, in its 838th year, the Commonwealth had fallen. The new Sarian Union declared its sovereignty in the next year. Among the changes its elected leaders ushered in, they vowed never to cast their people into exile, and they abolished the old Commonwealth decree forbidding literacy. Good. Today we still remember all of this. And we remember the exiles of the downside, whose deeds led to the dawning of our age, whether they returned or not. Whoa, it's everybody. I got a trophy, True Freedom. What is all this? After his liberation, Hedwyn was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth, and was vital to the outcome of the plan. Yeah, there's a star behind the ones that I sent home. The peaceful outcome of the scribe's return was attributed to several key factors. Oh, wow. One of them was underlying ambition of the plan itself. Another was Hedwyn's visibility among the people in the streets. Identified to be a liberated exile, he was believed to be Golgothanian reborn. More importantly, however, it was that one of the winged harps of the Highwing remnants accompanied him. She was later identified as Fakani Shang. Nice! Their bond was symbolic of what was at stake that night, and proved vital to the peace that followed. In all his days as a leader in the Sarian Union. Oh, wow. Hedwyn oft confided in his friend, Jodario. Yes! Despite her intense manner, there was no one whom he trusted more in times when circumspection was required. Hedwyn would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all the friendships he made, he had pledged to Jodario, Rookie Greentail, and the Reader of the Nightwings that they might all be free again together. Heh. Hell of a thing, ain't it? He had broken that vow, for, in the end, not all of them were able to return. A terrible guilt over this darkened his mood for a time. However, the others whom he still knew lifted his spirits, much like he had often lifted theirs. All of the Nightwings knew the stakes. While the others who withstood the Nightwings were not all able to remain in contact thus, Hedwyn thought of each of them often. So, in turn, did they oft think of him. Tizo! The imp called Tizo was the first of his kind to achieve liberty through the rites. While he was not the only imp trained in the ways of the scribes, imps are native to the downside, and thus care not for traveling abroad. This made them useful to triumvirates. Yet Tizo had a different calling, and the Nightwings believed that he too could play a key part in Volfred Sandalwood's plan. I wonder what my plan percentage was at the very end. Either way, I'm very happy that it won. During the night of the scribe's return, he stood out to the populace as something of a miracle. They'd only heard of downside imps before, from legends of Haub the Swallow. Afterwards, he became something of an icon, representing both the fall of the Commonwealth and the beginning of a new era. Volfred Sandalwood would sometimes send him little gifts all the way from the downside. Despite the insurmountable distance between them, their friendship proved more than resilient. Tizo often missed his interactions with the Reader of the Nightwings. They had quickly built quite a rapport back in the downside. He and Orlek reconciled as well. Orlek offered him free room and board, and that was that. Tizo liked riding on his shoulders. Aww. And Tizo would often express wistful gratitude for all his time conducting the rites alongside the Nightwings, who made such sacrifices for him. Other than that, Tizo was diligent about his role as something of a living artifact, and helped interpret for the messenger imps that relayed news to and from the downside. Despite having gained significant celebrity, he never let it go to his head, although he did take full advantage of his access to the Sarian Union's fishing industry. What happened to you? After the cycle of rites ceased turning, records of what happened to the Black Wagon of the Nightwings become inconclusive and contradictory. Some accounts suggest that the exiles of the Nightwings, who remained in the downside, continued to make use of the Black Wagon as their place of shelter and their means of travel. However, there is no record of what happened to the wagon's contents, such as the Book of Rites or the Beyonder Crystal, said to be haunted by the apparition of Sandra the Unseeing. One possibility is that, when the lone minstrel took his leave, he took the Beyonder Crystal with him, for he was thus obliged. By this line of reasoning, however, the Black Wagon itself should have been taken also. Others remained skeptical that the Beyonder Crystal ever existed, or rather, that the visions that it granted were anything other than the result of an active imagination or a fever dream. The bog dwellers of the southern bogs still offer another explanation, for they are familiar with binding enchantments. If there existed such an object in which the Sisters of the Arch had been expelled for more than 800 years, then the enchantment could have expired along with the light of the stars. What this would have meant for Sandra and the Beyonders is difficult to say for certain, other than it may have meant they were finally released. Nevertheless, the fates of Sandra and the Beyonder Crystal remain unknown. Yet those exiles of the Nightwings who claimed to have seen this apparition all spoke of her with degrees of reverence, or perhaps a little fear. Can you believe this, reader? Honestly. Sandra's appeared before you, as well as you can see. They are so far from the mark with all this nonsense, I am wont to laugh. In fact, here goes. She laughs. She is referring to the account of her. You sense she does not care for it. Well, let them gossip all they like. I merely wish that they would mention you, at least in passing, when next they are at it. Though they shall never even know half of it, shall they? Sandra seems irritated by the incomplete account. Reassure. Relatively flattering, lack of detail. I'll reassure her. You suggest to Sandra that the account of what occurred to her was nothing really not that bad, and that you liked aspects of it. You are much too diplomatic, you know that? You can tell she's unswayed, and yet her grin remains untucked. She appreciates the gesture. Anyway, let us keep going, lovely reader. We know the truth of it. That is what matters. She fades into the Beyonder crystal for now, and you tuck it away, safe. Nice. Orlick. What the fuck, Falcon Ron? Not yet. When the worm Gilman returned to the Commonwealth, he believed that he had regained something even more important than his freedom, his honor. Gilman relinquished his knighthood and declined an opportunity to serve as captain on the Blood Border. He was not interested in fighting any longer. Yet, as is sometimes the case with those such as he, a circumstance soon came about in which there was a need for him to once again make use of his military training. Thankfully, however, the scribe's return ended peacefully. Gilman was on edge throughout that night, expecting violence to erupt at any moment, but the moment never came. When the matter was at last put to rest, then Gilman truly knew his time as a knight had ended. He declared to all those in earshot that he would never fight again, unless, of course, there arose some other extraordinary set of circumstances, again requiring him to fight. But he certainly hoped not. He still trained regularly, just in case, especially with his fleet-footed friend, Rookie Greentail. He was always grateful for having studied under the reader of the Nightwings, without whom he would have never completed his penance. Because of this, and perhaps because they were on opposite sides of the world now, Gilman dedicated his life to him. By that point, he had long forgotten about his days under the leadership of Sir Deluge, his former commander. Breaking free of his abusive leadership was his first step towards gaining a bit of self-respect. Gilman never did return to his homeland of the Sea Dominion, and was content to lead a monastic life on a small residence in the hills. It was just high enough to make him keep striving to conquer his fear of heights. Other than that, an intense daily training regimen, and the occasional visit from an old companion, was more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then that honor was not something to be won, but a contract with oneself, to be renewed each day. Rookie Greentail. After Rookie Greentail earned his freedom, he returned to a lavish welcome ceremony in the Commonwealth, as was the tendency for liberated exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off, surrounded by luxury and choosing between various exciting opportunities. However, he must have given in to his better judgment, as he did end up siding with Wolfred Sandalwood's revolutionary forces, as he promised. On the night of the scribe's return, Greentail was there with others, inspiring the masters. He never looked prouder, the very image of Jomwer Manymane himself. When dawn finally came, and it became clear that the Commonwealth that everybody knew would be no more, he realized many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career for himself, manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by the downside. His main struggle was to meet demand. An aspect of his conscience cautioned him against making light of such a thing, but the money was too good, and soon his family was well off, as he always said. One of his orders of business was to seek out one of his old companions, Pamela Thane, with whom he took a liking during their quest for freedom. They bonded further over a love of drink and supported one another through uncertain times that lay in store. Aww, that's nice. He also kept in close touch with Gilman, the ever-perfect practice partner. They would train together often, taking care to stay in tip-top shape as much as possible throughout the years. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all his many friends, and he knew that he owed his fortunes to them. He made a special point of staying close with the group of friends he came to know so well during his time with the Nightwings, wherever they were. They shared a special understanding that put even Greentail at a loss for words sometimes. Ah, Faye. Long after the rites had ended, Faye admitted that she knew well before the fact that she would not be going home again. At least she had a very strong feeling. She ended up not minding very much because she had little to return to in the Commonwealth. Her sense of home had changed. She took to wandering from one celestial landmark to the next, ever paying homage to the 8 scribes, who she believed had influenced all that transpired. She was no stranger to traveling alone, but she was always happy to have company. Through it all, she would wonder how her little friend Tizo had fared. While they were divided now by a great distance, he always remained in her heart. Though they could not see each other any longer, Faye often thought about Jodario and spoke to her as though she were there. Faye never tried to make a decision without first consulting her idea of what Miss Jodariel might say. Whenever she felt genuine doubt, which was not very often, she sought out the reader of the Nightwings. If there was anyone whom she trusted as much as the scribes, it was him. One day, she encountered one of her former adversaries, one called Almer Oldheart, who would serve the Fate. She remembered him much more than he did her, though only just at first. Their shared experience in the rites and their different points of view about the scribes formed the basis of what grew to be a long-lasting relationship. Faye always was devoted for her faith, but more so to her friends. Her gentle manner and unwavering conviction often helped them brave life in the downside, both with courage and with grace. After her liberation, Giodariel soon became an icon to the movement. Yeah, Faye's definitely good for Elmer. Yeah, get him out of that resting bitch face. Let's see. After her liberation, Giodariel soon became an icon of the movement that led to the collapse of the Commonwealth and the rise of the Sarian Union. Her horns and stern countenance inspired the people to believe that she was solely a Myrrh reborn. She became a great, if reluctant, leader. In the uncertain times that followed, Giodariel's seasoned expertise often came to play both in matters of security and of state. For instance, she conscripted a trained team of volunteers in public safety. The community did not know what to make of such a cordial bunch at first, but soon came to value their service. They have stood for the people ever since, and we celebrate their founding day each year. She remains close with Hedwyn all through this experience, and they support each other through their struggles, many times. She often had to stop herself from fearing for Faye, whom she tried to look after as much as possible in the downside. Soon she would reassure herself that Faye was very capable of surviving on her own, and in fact she was not mistaken. She continued training on her own, a regimen that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her, and she sometimes obliged. There remained one other constant in her life. She would always remember her days among the Nightwings, and with fondness for the most part. Pamitha. After regaining her freedom, Pamitha Thane found herself in a difficult position. Having once betrayed her people of the Highwing Remnants, she knew that she would not be welcome in her native home. She did not trust the Commonwealth either. Instead, she found her place among Bulford Sandalwood's agents, who were busy doing their part to fulfill the plan. As it turned out, the plan was a success. Pamitha Thane stood shoulder to shoulder with her other fellow former exiles, and truly they were a sight to behold. A disturbing rumor later spread that night, the Highwing Remnants were slated to mount an assault, which for some reason never came to pass. Pamitha denied any knowledge or involvement. Afterwards, Pamitha played an active part in negotiating terms between the Highwing Remnants and the new nation that would become our Sarian Union. Her previous attempts at something of this sort led to her exile. She must have felt some satisfaction to succeed this time around. Sometime later, Pamitha had an unexpected run-in with Rookie Greentail, with whom she had spent a fair amount of time with while traveling among the Nightwings. Under these new set of circumstances, it turned out the two had more to talk about, and rather more in common. They would often put to test which one was able to outdrink the other, as it's unclear as to which of them prevailed in that contest, in the end. One day, Pamitha received an invitation to return to the Highwing Remnants, where she was to be fully pardoned. She held out a hope that she might see her blood sister, Tamitha, there, knowing full well that Tamitha did not regain her freedom. Tamitha did later learn that Pamitha was welcomed back by her people. However, she never responded to her blood sister's attempt to contact her. Pamitha, in turn, did not expect forgiveness from her at any point. Nevertheless, she kept on trying to reach out, she said, to ruffle up her feathers just a bit. Later, when asked, Pamitha Thane admitted she felt as though she had no home to call her own. This was during an interview conducted amid an extensive trip abroad, where she had traveled thousands of leagues beyond the bounds of the Sarian Union. Pamitha continued to journey thus, citing that it reminded her of when she was younger and could fly unfettered. Several exiles of the Nightwings cared more for the plan of Sandalwood than to return home from the downside. The crone called Big Bertrude was a prime example. She had found a suitable environment to live within the dismal region known as Flagging Hands. There, she had built up a thriving place of business known to many exiles in the land. With the rites having ended, she returned to her preoccupations, working away, almost as though nothing had happened. When one gets to be more than 400 years of age, perhaps even monumental events such as the culmination of rites or the collapse of the Commonwealth are seen as trifling matters. Much of her effort was doubtless due to the influence of Sandalwood, someone whom she had admired now for decades. He had made clear that he could not requite her feelings for him, but that could have been hurtful dismissal led only to a deeper understanding between them. By and large, Bertrude kept focus on her work, whether casting small enchantments or imbuing talismans. The work brought her a sense of purpose, she would say. In the Commonwealth, such services were strictly forbidden, but on the downside, there was a real need for simple luxuries, which the competing slug market could not always provide. Thus, Big Bertrude continued to live up to her name, and the tales of her days with the Nightwings made her that much more the living legend. When the cycle of rites ceased turning, Volfred Sandalwood turned towards the starless sky and closed his eyes and prayed. It was all he could do at this stage of his plan. He aspired to assemble with liberated exiles representing each of the 8 largest ethnic groups composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as a vision of the 8 scribes returned, inspiring the masses to embrace an older set of values from before the Commonwealth had tightened its grip. With the rites ending sooner than expected, this ideal scenario became impossible. Sandalwood's own freedom, for instance, was now forfeit, yet the plan did have contingencies. Fortunately, most of those contingencies did not prove necessary. Word reached him that, on the night of the scribe's return, his fellow liberated Nightwings stood together, and their voices echoed through the streets. These former exiles, who ought to have disappeared into the ranks of the Commonwealth's own leadership, now stood united with its people, who poured from their homes in solidarity. It was imperative to Sandalwood that this stand against the Commonwealth be peaceful in its nature. An overwhelming show of popular support would be more than enough. Ensuring this was his priority, and in the end, the result was self-evident. The plan's goal had been achieved. Sandalwood kept busy after that, as much as possible, providing counsel from afar to those who would be at the forefront of the birth of the Sarian Union. Of course, being stranded in the downside meant that there was only so much he could do. Resting assured that the future of the nation was in capable hands, he turned his attention to the remaining exiles of the downside. They might never return to that new nation, but at least they could experience its triumphs and struggles in some vicarious way. So he took to his old work, writing and printing. As literacy began to spread again through the Sarian Union, so too did exiles of the downside take to it. For his part, Sandalwood helped teach as many as he could. More than that, he provided the material to read, a semi-annual report about the latest events both in the Sarian Union and the downside. This periodical gave many exiles something to look forward to. He welcomed the company of the reader of the Nightwings at every opportunity, and counted him as a trusted friend and a keen editor. He was pleased to hear that his one-time friend, Orlek, had once more become a productive part of his society, yet he spoke little of their time together. As Volfred Sandalwood gained more fame throughout this land for all his sacrifices and contributions, it is said he remained steadfast about 2 things. The first was that the cause itself ought to remain in focus. The freedom that the people had achieved, it was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles of the Nightwings who had stood with him, each in turn by name. He never forgot any of them. One day, to commemorate his birthday, the people of the Sarian Union unveiled a monument depicting him and the Nightwings as imagined in their prime. While Sandalwood did not learn of it until much later, it is said that he was moved to tears then by the gesture. It has since ensured that those of us with memories more fallible than that of Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of his fellow former exiles and our cause. I gotta find out what's your deal.
Probably coming down tight.
Oh god. With the rights drawn to a close, the slug market's revenues fell precipitously, and Falconron was forced to liquidate his assets and close up shop. Yet, as is sometimes the case with an entrepreneurial leaning, Hi, Luna. What are you doing, baby? This time of hardship led to an epiphany, or at least a sudden change of fortune. One day, Falconron had a run-in with a messenger imp bearing news from the inside. Ron gave it one of his remaining trinkets, which could not be sold. The following week, the messenger imp returned to him bearing a tidy sum of wealth, in newly minted coinage from the Sarian Union. Falconron cut a long-term deal with the messenger imp then and there. Though his trade remained a gray area from a legal standpoint in the Sarian Union, the newfound fame of the downside caused Falconron's goods to explode in popularity. He later signed an elaborate agreement with Big Bertrude's and found a distribution partner on the other side through Rookie Greentail, whose own business had expanded. Especially in the Sarian Union, Falconron's goods are still known for their superior quality, though he assumes no liability for any side effects. Fucking of course. Alright, you weirdo.
Grazie,
After the final liberation rite, Lendl refused to believe the rites had truly ended. He would sit through night after consecutive night staring into the blackness of the sky, awaiting any kind of sign that he might gain another chance at freedom. No such sign ever came. His fellow accusers started to express concern for him. Survival had become their top priority for once liberty had slipped from their grasp. But Lendl dismissed them as weak fools. He insisted, rather forcefully, that any evening now, the stars would shine for them again, and mark the way towards his inevitable freedom. He was, of course, mistaken. The others in his triumvirate were left with little choice but to abandon him. After that, the exile known as Lendl the Liar was never seen again. However, there have been sightings of a bedraggled demon who wanders the downside, and bears Lendl's cruel countenance, suggesting he yet lives. Sorry, dude. You're also kind of a dick, though, so... As the cycle of rites drew to a close, it grew evident that the chance at freedom from the downside had forever slipped from Dalbert and Almer Oldheart's grasp. Thus, they and the exiles of the Fate returned to Jomware Valley, where they struggled to get by, as exiles of the downside tend to do. Sometime after the rites had ended, the Oldhearts had at last heard the news that the Commonwealth had fallen. This was well after the fact, of course, but it brought old Dalbert great joy. Despite his forthright manner, he had no love for the nation that had cast him down, along with his son. Dalbert Oldheart passed peacefully in his sleep before the next new moon. In his final days, he implored his son to undertake a pilgrimage to the scribes. Almer never shared his father's view of the scribes, but respected Dalbert's wishes, and so, after a period of mourning, Almer began a new journey. One day, during his travels, he ran almost headlong into another exile, after paying homage at the spring of Jomware. He was stunned to find that it was none other than the one he knew as Faye. I got hair on my tongue. From their days as adversaries of the rites. Faye was overjoyed to see him, though Almer was unable to bring himself to understand why. Eventually, of course, he did, and they remained together, growing ever more accustomed to their new lives in the downside. Not a day went by that Almer Oldheart did not think about his father, and give thanks to him, and speak to him at morning and at night. Would that the stars yet shone, for surely Dalbert's would be there among them, smiling down at his son, and watching over him and his kin. Aw, that was sweet. Alright, you cowardly little shit. All his life, Sir Deluge had fled from one danger only to find himself facing another. He had escaped the war-torn waters of the Sea Dominion. He had escaped the blood border of the Commonwealth, and now he had escaped the rites. After the rites had ended, many exiles wrapped up in the ancient test were crestfallen, as their last chance to return to their homes vanished, along with the stars above. But Deluge did not mind, for this outcome meant that at last there was no burden of responsibility weighing down on him. While most of his fellow exiles of the Pyre hearts yet longed for the waters of the Sea Dominion, driven as ever by their impulses toward conflict, Deluge settled down. With him remained one of his companions, one Lady Seagrass, who had taken a liking to him for some reason. Reportedly, they disappeared into the waters of Worm Gulf, which may begin to explain the significant increase in worm population observed in the vicinity. Ah, yes, you. Fuck you. Just outright, fuck you. After the cycle of rites had ceased, Witch Udmilde returned to the Flagging Hands region, where she sealed herself within the pit of Melithe. There, even her fellow exiles of the Withdrawn allegedly grew unnerved after a time, and left her to her vile work. Sometime later, the pit of Melithe erupted into flame. So intense was the conflagration that it could be seen all the way from Jomware Valley. Arson was suspected, though the cause was never verified, and many bog dwellers in the region were forced to flee. A tempest blowing from the north finally quenched the flames. When at last the ash settled, and the grounds had cooled, the site of the fire was scarred beyond recognition. No trace of Witch Udmilde could be found. As for the contents of the pit of Melithe, which notably included a profane object thought to be the remains of Islak, all of it was gone as well. Ah! Back in the Sarian Union, Udmilde's repeated threats of the return of Islak were thoroughly investigated, and no credence was found to any of her claims. Ah, get fucked. Barker Ashpaws never had much interest in returning to the Commonwealth, for he always found its bylaws to be stifling, so when the rites ended, he did not care at first. He soon grew very bored, and the rites had given his life a certain sense of structure he'd always needed. He missed the raw anticipation of it all. He decided to continue conducting the rites for the thrill of it. He bent some of the rules and replaced some of the objects, but it was close enough. His packmates, the dissidents, proved more than happy to participate, unless they ran against each other back in Jomware Valley. Gradually, other exiles familiar with the rites, as well as those who had not heard of it at all, started taking interest. They ended up giving Barker Ashpaw some healthy competition. His old feud with Rookie Greentail ceased meaning anything to him, and he forgot all about it amid his newest pursuits. Yeah, dude just invented soccer. Fucking awesome. Ultimately, even Barker Ashpaws, who led such a directionless existence at that point, found something of a calling through the rites. Whether he took the rites less seriously than any other exile of his time, or more, was oft debated by those who watched him work. Ah, yes, fuck you as well, and fuck you. You're cool, dude. Orlek, you're kind of a dick, but you deserved your freedom. Throughout her exile, Tamitha Thane was motivated by a single goal, to return to the Commonwealth and exact vengeance on her ancient enemies. When she realized the rites had ended, and that she would never see her mountain home again, she nonetheless remained determined to aid her people however possible. She had gathered certain information pertaining to the intentions of the Nightwings, who had formed a pact to regroup on the other side after their liberation. Other such reports exposed certain weaknesses to the Commonwealth defenses, and revealed to the hiring remnants the opportunity for a risky but potentially impactful strike. As Tamitha could not participate in the result, she learned what happened well after the outcome. On that night, known as the Scribe's Return, the Commonwealth had fallen. The hiring remnants thus prevailed at last without even having to fight. Soon after the fall of the Commonwealth, Tamitha learned that her blood sister, Pamitha, was an accessory to the successful outcome. Tamitha was very skeptical of this, but as similar reports kept mounting, she soon accepted the prevailing opinion, however grudgingly. Once, a messenger imp arrived bearing some sort of message, seemingly from Pamitha. However, Tamitha turned it away. She would not give in to an impulse to forgive. Wow, you really are a bitch. Oh my god. Knowing that the conflict on the other side had ended, Tamitha retreated to the crags of Black Basin and grew ever more distant. Those closest to her surmised that her inability to reconcile with her blood sister was at the heart of this, though for her part, Tamitha never once admitted to any such weakness. Stay mad, I guess. Ah yes, this Pinocchio-looking fuck.
More spectacular.
Hey, boy!
When manly Tinderstauf realized the rites had ended and he could no longer return to the Commonwealth through his ancient means, he was outraged. He cursed the scribes, spewing forth such a slew of blasphemy as to be very unbecoming of one of his high status and bearing. When at last he calmed himself, he focused all his energies on attempting to find another means of homecoming. He maintained regular contact with his wealthy family on the other side via messenger imp, and used their vast resources to explore other means of escape. He tried using an elaborate pulley system. He attempted to retrofit a flying black wagon with superior propulsion. He tried an imp raft, hot air balloon, even prayer. Nothing worked. There was only one way to escape the downside, and now he was gone. Tinderstauf bankrupted his family in these vain attempts. At last, such was his shame that he retreated to the teeming woods of Black Basin to Cinderroot. God damn, dude. There he yet wallows, complaining to his comrades of the chastity who still put up with him, either about his own misfortune or the latest news from the other side. You I do feel bad about. Once it became clear to Ignorus that the rites were drawing to a close, he knew that it was time for him and the Templars to call it quits. But first he and the Templars decided to celebrate, and that they did for many, many nights. The revelry did eventually subside. The exiles parted amicably and went their separate ways. He roamed the downside then, searching for some meaning in his life, sometimes taking odd jobs requiring his brute strength. He never remained alone for very long, and took on many lovers at this time. Okay, nice. However, he sometimes thought that about the one he had called Curly Horns and what became of her. Though his glory days as the most powerful conductor of the rites had long since passed, he always enjoyed the fearsome reputation he had cultivated at the time. Orlek. In the aftermath of the final liberation rite, Orlek at last returned to his nation, one he had not seen in nearly 2 decades. He scarce recognized it. After all, it was in the midst of transformation, a social and cultural upheaval sparked by Volfred Sandalwood's plan. When Orlek witnessed the people of the Commonwealth standing shoulder to shoulder and chanting together on the night of Scribe's return, he looked on in silence for a time. Then he stepped towards the crowd. A murmur and hush moved through the gathered citizens at the sight of him, for they had never seen someone thus changed by the downside. But then Orlek raised his voice with theirs, and they all stood united, once again. Hell yeah! History would know him as the Demon Doctor, a term of endearment that stuck even after his horns started to recede. Here you go, Lunar. You can play with that. He lent his skill and service throughout the birth of the Sarian Union. The one he had called the Shadow of the False Nightwings was someone whom he thought of often. He knew he owed his freedom to him. Having witnessed the aftermath of Sandalwood's plan, Orlek understood at last what his former companion wanted. Years ago, they conceived a version of this plan. Now, Orlek found he wished Sandalwood could be present to witness the reality of it. Orlek later reunited with Tizo, who took residence with him, in some ways similar to how they lived in olden times. The imp always enjoyed his company. Alone with his thoughts, Orlek would sometimes visit the memorial to the fallen leaders of the Commonwealth. Though, other than such appearances, and notwithstanding his duties as master physician of the state, Orlek led a very private life. Few would have guessed that he was once one of the most accomplished rites conductors in the history of the Nightwings. History, of course, shall ensure that we shall not forget. All that's left is you guys. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, the lone minstrel bade the remaining Nightwings take the Black Wagon, and seek their fortunes elsewhere in the downside. Their parting was heartfelt, but brief. He remained there, at the summit of Mount Elodial, with Celeste, where the two of them would chronicle the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tariq nor Celeste was ever seen again. We all know this now through song attributed to them. Some claim these songs originated in the taverns of the Sarian Union, and merely were imbued with the weight of folklore. However, the exiles liberated from the downside corroborated each other's claims at having met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggested these minstrels were heralds of the scribes. Having fulfilled their obligations, they departed the world we know, and rejoined their patrons. One of their famous songs describes another, simpler outcome. The two gave up their duties to the rites in favor of life that they could share together. In any case, they are likely to remain the subject of such verses and such songs, for it was they who watched over the rites and ushered in our times. And that's all we got, huh? There is one more account which warrants mention. The Nightwings conducted the rites under the guidance of a reader. Little is known of him. However, some accounts of him begin to paint a picture. We know he was of common birth, weak-framed, though raised with a penchant for learning. The journey to the downside left him close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found him. They brought him from the brink. He showed them the path. He passed onward with the others, pressed onward. He had made a vow to help his friends be free. Thus did the cycle of the rites commence its final turns. When the final rite arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. In the end, however, he remained in exile. From that point on, accounts of him diverge. It is said that the voice, which troubled him, he never heard again. Some say he helped improve the lives of other downside exiles, though whether that is true, only he knows. Someday, perhaps, the reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall pierce the dark of night in all its brilliant glory. Until such time, and ever after, all of us give thanks.
Their journey began on a barren waste where the reader arrived, afraid and alone. When he arrived, the book of rites awakened the Nightwings and ignited the flame. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in our brain till the end. We sing of the last of the Nightwings who, having broken the cycle, shall live on in song. prevailed and strode
Oh.
the path that his heart laid before him.
Oh, this is nice.
He has found his way home. Captain Joe Dariel, mother to many a foundling, she has found her way home. Rookie Greentail has proved his worth and returned to his family by the grace of the scribes. They follow the stars bound together, strands in a braid.
Yeah, I really like this.
The moon-touched girl feels the scribes in the heart.
Oh,
of the
that's
downside.
adorable.
She remained to the end.
Tizo prevailed, first of his lowly kind, to ascend from the downside. He has found a new home. Sir Gilman the Bold,
Yeah, I think it was Hedwin.
ever in his quest, finding honor and glory. He
Man,
has
Super
found
Giant
his
Games
way
is so fucking cool.
Tabitha Thane, having pleased the scribe, seeking only forgiveness.
Oh, there's her and Rookie.
She has found her way home.
That's so cute looking. These are all so great.
They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. Bound together, spirits tender, strands unbroken, strands unbroken.
The great mastermind, Wolfred Sandalwood, saw his plans turn to action. He remained till
Oh,
the
there's him and
end.
Bertrude. Whoa, I did not realize they looked like... I did not realize Bertrude looked like that. I thought they were...
Kept their
I don't know, like a turtle shell?
at bay with her finest enchantment.
Huh.
She remained till the end. The reader at last made the night wings whole, having bound them together. He remained till the end. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid.
There's everybody.
Till the end. Now at the end,
Oh, wait, there's me. The reader.
as we bid
Huh.
farewell
I didn't think I'd be there.
to the
That's weird.
stars, we shall find our way home. We shall find our way home. We shall find our way home.
Eh. What's that? It's a library? Is this what the Commonwealth looks like? Is this the voice? I don't know. They explained who the voice was, and it was the previous leader of the Nightwings. Yeah, this is a library, but what the hell? Is oh. I guess it's meant to. Oh. Well then. I mean, it shows that the ban on literacy is over. Yeah, so. True Nightwing's campaign mode unlocked. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a fucking game. What an incredible game. Just like all their other shit. I liked Bastion. I liked Transistor. I especially loved Hades. Can't wait to play Hades 2. That is... oh boy! Country formerly known as the Commonwealth. Oh yeah, this is, oh yeah, here's all the burning books because, you know, Fahrenheit 451 shit. They can't rebel if we keep them too stupid. Anyway. Yeah, I think this will do it. This was an awesome game. I'm not usually... I held off on this one for a while because I thought it was a sports game, and that's not really my thing, but I really enjoyed this. As I have come to realize, I really like a lot of Supergiant's games. All of them, I think. Yeah, I mean, technically a sports game, but it's much more interesting than a sports game, I think. Anyway, I think this will just about do it, so, to anybody still watching, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, whatever that ends up being. We all got a story to tell, huh?